guys, welcome back to Bourbon Kettle Kitchen. Tonight I am making a bourbon bacon brittle. If you are new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button down below, and you can hit that little bell and you'll get notified every time I post a recipe or a craft. So I have a 12-ounce package of thick cut bacon. With this I am going to brush on 3 tablespoons of bourbon, and I'm going to sprinkle on 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. So I'm going to get going on that. So while I brush on the bourbon, I'm preheating the oven to 400 degrees. Bacon and bourbon, how can you go bad? So we're going to continue this. We're going to sprinkle on the brown sugar. And this is just so it candies. And after this cooks and gets all nice and crispy and candied up, we're going to crumble it up because it's going to go inside of the brittle. And we'll be making the brittle in a little bit. So I'm going to let this go into the oven after I get done putting all the sugar. So it's going to take you about an hour to do this whole thing because you want to make sure that this is candied properly. You want to make sure it's crispy. You don't want flimsy bacon. So now this is going to go into a preheated 400 degree oven. If you do not have one of these broiler pans, you can use a cooking sheet or a sheet pan and put a wire wrap on it. So this bad boy is going to be cooking away. So I have the bacon out of the oven. I have all the ingredients prepped because when you make brittle, you want to have it quickly. So I'm actually going to toast the nuts in the oven to the 400 degree. I'll leave it as it is. And when you're cooking with nuts, you always want to toast them. So that's going to go in there for a couple minutes. This parchment paper, because I don't have a sill plat, is what the brittle is going to go onto. So I'm going to chop up the bacon, and then when I pull the nuts out, I'm going to start the candy part. So now we're going to make the candy part. I have 1 cup of sugar, a half a cup of water, and I have a half a cup of corn syrup, so I'm going to stir this on medium-high heat until the sugar dissolves, and then I am going to turn it on high heat and put in a candy thermometer until it reaches the temperature that I'm going to need, which is going to be 290 degrees. So I'm going to get to stirring this until the sugar dissolves. Solution is coming up to a boil. As you can see the bubbles there. I am going to put the candy thermometer in. And I need it to reach 290 degrees before I put the bourbon, the nuts, and the bacon in. It's going to boil on high now until it reaches the 290 degrees, and we don't touch it at all. You can see it's starting to thicken, and it is 250 degrees. We have another 40 to go. Now that this has reached 290 degrees, I'm going to take this out real quick. I'm going to add the bourbon and the nuts and the bacon. I'm going to mix this real quick, and I'm going to put the thermometer back in because then I need it to go up to 310 degrees. So I'm going to mix this together. And thermometer back in. And now we have to bring this up to 310 degrees. As soon as that hits 310 degrees, we're going to take that off the heat, add the baking soda, butter, and vanilla. So let's get this back up. It is going to darken in color because it is going to caramelize, or caramelize, however you want to say it. The heat is 310 degrees. The butter will give it a glossy finish. I'm going to mix this. Almost smells like you're making the melted marshmallows for fluff. All right, that's mixed. I'm going to lay this out. And you're gonna let this sit for 20 minutes so it cools. Put on the side. I am also going to sprinkle mine with a little bit of Himalayan sea salt. Flake sea salt will be great with this. So now this is going to sit for 20 minutes. This is cooling. The video makes it look a little darker than what it actually is. Let's see. So it's cooling. And the trick to cleaning a pan after making brittle is put water almost all the way up, turn it on high, and let it boil. Right, now that this is cool, I'm going to break this into pieces. And if you spread it thinner, the faster it will cool. If it's thick, it will take more than 20 minutes. Look at that piece of bacon. All right, all done.